Hola, new to the Greenbacks to Greenbacks podcast. Hosted by me, Nestor Vargas. I'm here to teach you everything you need to know about using your dinero to create wealth and find money independence. As a kid from Colombia who grew up in a barrio, I got fed up with having money insecurities, so I decided to become a personal finance expert and a certified financial planner. After 12 years of mastering my money skills, I'm ready to share with you how I help million-dollar clients grow their wealth. If you're looking to become a master at managing your dinero, you're in the right place. Now, let's dive into the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Greenbacks podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about how to take advantage of this stock market that is obviously down. As of yesterday, I think the S&P was down 20%. So what are the tricks that people, the wealthy investors, are using to take advantage of a market like this? We're going to talk about 3 tips that I think are going to be super useful. But before we go into those tips, I want to go ahead and leave you with a mental hack that I think can be extremely valuable for you to use during a market like this. And that is, if you are feeling uncomfortable with your investments and maybe you feel like you need to sell them, or you just have that feeling, maybe you know you're not going to sell them, but you have that feeling, there's a mental hack that you can use. And that is, ask yourself, how do you feel about gifting your wealth to someone else? Okay? Because that's exactly what you're going to do if you sell your investments during a down market. You're gifting, your wealth to someone else. Someone else is going to buy those investments and they're going to hold them until the market comes back up and they're going to make money, right? Now I'm making an assumption that you are invested appropriately, that you're not, betting on, some meme stocks or, just heavily invested in a single company or sector. But use that mental hack. I think it'll be really helpful for you. And so the first topic I wanted to talk about during this down market is, so I'll talk about 3 topics. I think the first topic is being able to actually finally get rid of an investment that you otherwise couldn't before because of the tax consequence that would. And, what I mean by that is that if you had maybe a high concentration of a stock, and I'm talking about outside of your retirement account, I'm talking about a taxable account, okay? Because in taxable accounts that are not, part of a retirement account, every time you buy or you sell something, it triggers a tax consequence. And so a lot of people get stuck sometimes holding an investment that has grown tremendously, whether it be because it grew due to performance, or it grew because their company gave them stock as part of their compensation. And they know that they want to get rid of it, but I mean, it's going to trigger an insane amount of taxes. So now that the market's down 20% and some individual companies are down even more than that, it's appropriate for you to look at your portfolio and say, hey, I think I might have the opportunity now to actually sell some of these investments without triggering such crazy taxes and really diversify my money in a better way to really make sure it's protected from, whatever CEO that's running the company or whatever sector that a company may be in. And as I'm talking about this, I think there's also an opportunity for individuals to save money on taxes. And it's still, I'm talking about non-retirement accounts, right? And the way you can do that is called tax loss harvesting. Meaning, let's say, for an example, you have a S&P 500 investment. Everyone knows what the S&P 500 is. It's the 500 largest companies in the United States. But let's say that investment is at a loss right now because of the market dip that we've seen. But you're a smart investor, and you know that the S&P 500 will continue to grow historically. So you're like, well, I do want to I want to stay invested, but you want to save some money in taxes. What you can do is you can sell that S&P 500 ETF or whatever investment you use, and immediately buy something that is very similar. So what that does is 2 things. One, it allows you to lock in those losses that you can then use to offset gains in the future. And then two, because you bought something that is very identical with if the market or not if, but when the market returns, your portfolio will return, right? That you'll get the appreciation. So you're locking in that harvest, you're harvesting a loss, which you can then use to offset a future gain, whether it be because you want to trade a position or because you want to sell something to make money and live your life. Right? So two different ways there to take advantage of that market dip in individual account. Right? Now, the second tip is also related around taxes. There's a lot of opportunity during a down market, guys. There's a lot. This has to do with converting some of your money from a traditional retirement account to a Roth retirement account. Okay. And now before I get into this technical side of things, I think I want to take a step back and I want to make sure you guys understand a traditional retirement account and a Roth retirement account are just account types. They're not investments. Okay. They're account types. What you put into those accounts is the investments and dictates how that account is going to perform. Okay. So a traditional retirement account could be a 401k. It could be an IRA. Traditional means that when you put your money in there, that money is taken away or taken out of your earned income for that year. And so it reduces your taxable income and you don't pay taxes on the money till you take it out. So it's kind of a benefit there is that it reduces your tax liability for the year in which you made that contribution, but also now the money is going to grow tax deferred. So, you're getting a little more bang for your buck, tax deferral. Okay. Now a Roth it's different. A Roth account is you pay the taxes now. So you don't get that deduction on your taxes during the year you made that contribution, but then the money grows tax free and it's tax deferred. So you never have to pay taxes on the growth. So now that we've discussed that retirement accounts aren't necessarily an investment type, but they're an account type, and we talked about the taxation of a traditional IRA, traditional 401k, a Roth 401k, a Roth IRA. Now, how can we take advantage of that? Why is making a Roth conversion important? And what is a Roth conversion? Well, a Roth conversion is basically you taking money out of your traditional account and moving it over into a Roth IRA. And a lot of people actually get confused. They're like, well, maybe I'm making too much money. I don't think I can contribute to a Roth IRA. I'm not talking about contributions. I'm talking about conversions, which are completely different. You can always convert money. Now, there is a lot that goes into this from a tax perspective. So I definitely encourage you to talk to your financial advisor or talk to your accountant before you actually do the strategy. But again, doing a Roth conversion right now makes sense because your investment portfolio is down, right? It's highly likely your investment portfolio is down. So you convert, for every dollar that you convert to a Roth IRA, you're more likely converting to $1.20 or $1.25, depending on how low your portfolio has dropped. And basically, you're getting a discount. You're getting a tax discount because, when you convert a dollar from a traditional to a Roth, you have to pay taxes on that dollar. Basically, every dollar you convert becomes part of your earned income that year, and you pay, income tax brackets on that. But because the market's down, you essentially are getting a 25% discount on your taxes. So it really allows you to lock in and convert more money to that Roth account and save money on taxes. Now, one thing that I would say here is that also be mindful with what you move over to the Roth account. I actually have been moving over a lot of money for my clients in this past month. We just got done doing our end of year reviews. And what I do for them, right, because they don't have to do it, I do it for them, is I look for investments that are the best investment types move over into a Roth. And those typically are investments that are really growth oriented. Okay. Because again, the Roth IRA is going to grow tax free, is going to grow tax deferred. Let's make sure we lock in the discount that we're getting right now on our taxes. We move that money into our Roth, and then we let that money grow tax and tax free, tax deferred. Right. So why is this important? Okay. I just want to kind of maybe also use another example. Let's say you have an $100,000 traditional IRA and a $100,000 Roth IRA. Okay. So same amount of money, both accounts. I want to ask you one question, and that is, which account is worth more, traditional or Roth? It's your Roth, because the traditional is not all your money. Remember that you always have to share a portion of that with Uncle Sam. So if you have $100,000 in the traditional, not all of that is going to be yours. More likely is going to be more like 90 or 80,000, depending on what your tax bracket is. So more money in a Roth account is always worth more than in a traditional account. Hope that helps. Alrighty. So the third hack is really looking at this particular environment as an opportunity, right? I think it's really easy for us to right now get caught up in this idea that, the markets are down, the economy's not doing well, inflation is out of control. There's this war happening in Russia and Ukraine, and how is this going to pan out? Is this really going to, are we going to be okay? And look, I'm here to tell you that if you're invested appropriately, if you actually have an investment strategy, not an observation strategy, but an investment strategy, which we'll talk about the differences there. Maybe let's just dive into that. An observation strategy is one that basically most people follow. They log into their computer or they look at their statements. And if the investment is doing well, making money, great. It's doing well. At the moment that investment is in the negative, you get concerned, right? That's an observation. All you're doing is observing what's happening to the balances of your accounts. So an observation strategy is very different than actually having, an investment strategy. And an investment strategy is, okay, and its investments are down. I understand that they're still great investments. They still make a lot of sense for my situation and what I'm trying to accomplish. They're still good investments. I'm going to be fine, right? So I'm here to tell you that if you're invested appropriately and you have the right investments in your portfolio, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay, right? Your portfolio will return to where it was, if not, and it will continue to rise because that's what the stock market has done. Okay. Typically, a recession will last about 18 months. Okay. On average. So sometimes a little less, times a little more, right? So buying investments in this environment actually makes sense, right? Because you're getting a 20% discount. You're getting a 20% discount. Now, a lot of people will say, well, Nestor, I don't have money, okay, in my portfolio. I don't have any extra money. Okay, if that's the case, you may want to look at your portfolio and see if there are any bonds or cash that have become a larger portion of your portfolio than you typically wanted them to. Sell some bonds, maybe buy the dip, right? Buy some stocks. That's an opportunity to rebalance your portfolio. Let's make sure that we're investing like firemen. When people are running out, we're running in and we're buying great investments because they're on sale. And so rebalancing is really important at this moment. But also if you are, working and you're still putting money away in the 401k plan, if you have any extra cash, let's jack up those contributions, right? Like let's do that. That's a great opportunity. All right, my friends. So we've talked about 3 different ways to actually take advantage of this market dip. We talked about how to actually harvest losses in a taxable account, how to diversify your investments in a taxable account if you're maybe have more of a particular investment than you want to. We talked about the differences between a traditional retirement account and a Roth retirement account. We talked about which one is worth more if they each have the same amount of money. And we also talked about how to actually take advantage of this by doing some Roth conversions. Then we also talked about having a mindset about where the market is. And if you're invested appropriately, viewing this as an opportunity to actually buy more shares of the good investment that will ultimately appreciate and increase your wealth. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you soon. Bueno, pues, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I want to go ahead and ask you to please send me any questions you may have or any topics you want me to talk about. Go ahead and send them to Nestor, Nestor, at greencardstogreenbacks.com. I actually read every email you send, so I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to head over to greencardstogreenbacks.com for the show notes for this episode and really links to any resources we may have discussed. Bueno, amigos y amigas, nos vemos pronto. Let's go make those greenbacks.